It's time for another CGC unboxing. Stay tuned to see what I picked up. Welcome back, comic book fans. This is Rusty again with Collector Auctions, and today I've got another CGC unboxing. It's right here. As you can see, it's a small box. I tell you, it is only one book, and it was for another signing at CGC with one of their private events down in Sarasota. But stay tuned for after this. We'll do the reveal because I don't know what the grade is. I know what the book is, and it is for a special project, and I'll get into that in just a few moments. But stay tuned after that because I've also got a couple of other boxes here. One's from Comic Link and one is from a seller on Whatnot. So we will do a big unboxing today. It's not just a CGC unboxing. It's a triple key unboxing from multiple places, and I hope you stay tuned to the end and we'll see all the great comics that I picked up. But before we begin, what do I always say? Hit that like button, slap the subscribe, and definitely hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on great comic book content like this each and every week, Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. All right, guys, let's get into the books. All right, so the very first book here is from CGC. Let's get into this box. I've got my trusty knife right here. I don't know where Orange Deadly is, but we've got the green utility knife that my wife, I think, picked up from her job at Wegmans. So she picked up one of these, and I'm going to use it right now to get into this box. So as I'm opening, I'll tell you a little bit about this. This is one of my favorite X-Men books. There's a first clue. And it is a book that is part of that special project. I don't have it on my 2023 goals list because I actually already picked this book up in the grade that I wanted. But I had plenty of raws. I pick these up at the shows all the time when I find them in fantastic condition and in fantastic prices. But I wanted it for a special project. I don't want it just graded. Now, I've got it graded 9.8 already, but I wanted to get this signed by the writer and by the artist. And I've had chances. I've seen both of them over the last year. I just didn't have the right book at the right condition at the same time. And tell you what happened was Heroes Con had announced their lineup. It was an early list, and this was an early sign up for a guest on the list, and this person is going to be down in Charlotte in June. Well, about the same time that list came out, the writer was doing a private signing at CGC, and I'm going, okay, I've got a really nice copy of this book. I got multiple, but this was probably one of the nicest. I still want to try to get my own 9.8, not just go out there and buy it, which I did, but I wanted to get one graded, and with this writer there, I decided, okay, what I'm going to do is send this book in, get him to sign it. I should have plenty of time to get that book back, God willing, before Heroes Con in the middle of June, and that's what has happened. I've got the book right here. Well, and the idea was to take the book with me to Charlotte and have them have a facilitator or CGC or somebody crack it open. Hopefully it's with the grade I'm really hoping for. And then getting it taken to the artist, have him sign it, and then, of course, have them resubmit it for grading. It's already been witnessed twice at this point, and they have both artists on there. Now, what I didn't know at the time, after I'd already sent this book in and started this process, was the writer ended up being added to the list at Heroes Con, and now both of them are going to be there, and I could have literally not went through CGC and their private signing. I could have just taken the book down to Charlotte and gone through standing in line in both places, working with a facilitator or CGC to get it done at that point. But we're already in the process, and I'm not satisfied just to have the book signed at this point, just by the writer. I did this because I want the artist as well. So anyway, long story short, let's just get into the book here, and I'm going to try to look away as I open this up. It's only one book. It's well packaged. There's plenty of bubble wrap. It's in a couple pieces of cardboard. You've got the rubber band here, and I always have to watch out after doing this earlier in the year where I took this rubber band off and caught my finger and did a nice paper cut. That was real nice. I'm sure I left that on the episode when that happened, but I'm going to peek down. I don't want to see the grade. Okay. I know where the grade is. I don't know what it is yet. I haven't peeked. But let's take it out. And I'm going to hide the grade so you guys will see it. And as you can see, this is X-Men number 213. And you can already see something signed right there in the indicia. It is by Chris Claremont. I'm just going to go ahead and give it away. And if you guys know this issue, you know the artist. The artist is Alan Davis. Now, Alan Davis is going to be at Heroes Con. Well, Chris Claremont is now too. But the idea is to take this down there and get Alan Davis's signature added to this. So I'm going to start to reveal the grade. I'm going to see it. You guys will see it before I do because my monitor is a little bit slow, so my reaction is going to be a little bit slow to what you guys see. But let's hope we get that 9.8. Man, that's what I really want here. Let's see how we did. Oh, yeah! You guys don't know how excited I am about this because this has been a white elephant for me for the last year and a half, trying to get this book as a 9.8. And I'll show you why. You go to shows, you find this book all over the place. They're usually anywhere from $20 to $30, give or take. And you'll pull this book out and you'll look down the spine and you'll look at the corners and it is beautiful. Just an absolute beautiful book. And you're going, okay, great. I mean, it's got some value to it as a 9.8. Not to mention down to this one that's signed by Chris Claremont. But the fact is, the fronts can look fantastic. But let me show you something. You've got this big old, this is TSR, Dungeons and Dragons ad on the back. And look at this. This is a super dark cover. And I will tell you, every issue you run across, if you want to buy this book and just add it to your PC as a raw, it's one thing. But if you want these things graded, you've got to take these out of the bag, even though it's not a super expensive book. And I hate doing that to a dealer when I go to a show, but I'm not going to just give you $20 to $25 for this. Come home, open it up, and turn it over, and look down this spine and see any number of spine ticks. I mean, it's really deflating when you do that kind of thing. So I encourage you guys at a show, if you're really, really thinking about getting these books graded, these newer books. I mean, this is from 1987. It's new. It's still modern, but the value is in being 9.8s. And this is a book that picks up these spine ticks like crazy. Here, I got to look at this. I'm so excited. Beautiful signature. Let me see if I can take that closer without blinding you. Take a look at that beautiful Chris Claremont signature. And as you can see up here, this is where Chris Claremont usually will sign the X-Men books, is up right there on the trade dress. I think I said indicia, but the trade dress. And I don't know where Alan Davis is going to sign at this point, but now this is the project. This is going with me to Charlotte. We'll have to crack it open down there, and we'll have to add this to, how to add his signature to this. I'm so excited about this. I can't tell you how, this is me achieving something here. I plateaued on this issue. Now, I still got to work on number 212 and try to get that 9.8. I don't own that. I didn't buy that one outright, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about this, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Guys, do you have this book? Have you read this book? This is just a fantastic Wolverine, Psylocke taking on, and Storm taking on Sabretooth, who has invaded the mansion, and Psylocke holds her own. She joins the team in this issue. I'm trying to think what else. Just beautiful Alan Davis artwork, man. And I think this is the first cover of Wolverine and Sabretooth together. Yeah, great stuff, guys. Hope you enjoyed this book. Let me know in the comments section if you all own this book and if this is one of your favorites as well. All right, so the next box, and I'm telling you, I'm still coming down from a high from this X-Men 213, but we got to go ahead. Let's move ahead. Let's open up this box from Comic Link. Now, this is, I know what the grades are. I won these on auction. Got to say, I'm a little surprised because, well, let me just give it this way. if you guys go out to shows or check out some of these auctions, I'm telling you, the way I'm seeing things right now is that you can find really good deals on graded books at great grades, and you can get some good deals. But on the other hand, I'm seeing a lot of dealers trying to sell raw books at the price for that book if it was graded. I mean, last weekend I went to a comic show. One of the dealers had this beautiful Silver Surfer #3. It wasn't quite as beautiful as their more expensive copy, but it was I know that cover had needed a little bit of work and definitely needed a press, but it looked really good. Had a little bit of wear and definitely had a little bit of fading to it. But all in all, I judged that book to be around a 7.5, or at least in that neighborhood. And I was trying to be conservative with that grade. And I looked at it, and I looked at the price, and I was prepared to drop a lot of money. Watch my previous episode. I talk about that issue. And was it previous episode? It's one of the previous episodes. I should leave a link for it at the end. But to me, that book, after I looked it up, I'm going, well, wait a minute. I just kind of roughly graded this as a 7.5. Let's see what it would be if I wanted to buy that at a 7.5 already graded. And I'm telling you, the price that they're charging is the price for that same graded book. I would rather just buy the graded book and I know what that grade is rather than take a chance that I overgraded a little bit and I'm paying a price for something that wasn't that grade. I've had that problem before. I've done that. I've bought books. I thought they were at good prices. Now, the market has dropped a little bit and that affects things. But I just was not. That's what I'm seeing, guys. You guys let me know. Is that what you're seeing when you go out and you see dealers selling a lot of these raws? And I'm not talking about overall raws. I'm talking about big keys, mostly. They're trying to get the price for the graded price. They're not selling it for what a raw price should go for. But anyway, enough rambling. Well, I should say that's why these right here were picked up at great prices. I felt like it was great prices for these grades, and these are some pretty big keys. And thank you, Comic Link, for all the bubble wrap, and the same for, well, I would say the same for CGC, but they use that big bubble wrap. I like this smaller bubble wrap. I tend to recycle that a lot more than those bigger bubbles. And let's see if I can cut this open without cutting into the books or cutting into me. That would be bad. That would be bad video, I think. So let's unwrap this. I'm trying to think what I bought from Comic Link. You know, I'm a complete idiot, and I'll probably have to re-edit some of this, but maybe not. I'll just say, okay, I'm an idiot. This was actually from Heritage. You can tell I'm buying too many things because things are coming in, and I could have sworn this was Comic Link. We will have a Comic Link coming in. In fact, we'll have two coming in then over the next week because I know I've got a couple different things out there. So forget everything I said about Comic Link, but except for the fact that this is from Heritage, but it still implies. And what we got here is actually a graded book, and we've got a raw book. And the raw I'm really excited about. The photos look fantastic. And more importantly, it is one of the top books on my 2023 goals list. So I'm going to knock one of them off. Not 100%. It's not exactly, it's the copy, but I'll tell you this, it's a Pence version. It's not the American straight up issue, but I'm still happy with it because the condition's fantastic. Let me just start with that because, hey, I can't tease it anymore, but what a fantastic issue, and I'm going to apologize for the sticker over the top of it here. I may just take it out and show you, but let me show you what it is. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 47, and again, sorry they put the sticker right over on top of the Mylar that they've got this in. This is just a classic Craven cover, and this was on my want list. I literally sat down when I decided to do a 2023 list. What are my goals for this year? And there were several things. It wasn't just a top 10. There was a bunch of things. And I was thinking about Spider-Man, and there's so many issues of Spider-Man. You should be collecting probably every issue from probably, try to do a run 1 through probably 49, 150. That would be a really fantastic run. There's so many great keys, but more specifically, the first 100 issues of Spider-Man. And you can make that a project. What I find is, while I enjoyed Spider-Man, there are certain issues I liked better, and I couldn't just put every issue on there. That'd be ridiculous. But I'm thinking, okay, the prices are down in the market. What would be good? What would be the really big issues, other than the first handful, obviously, but through the first 100, maybe up through 129? What are the big issues? Now, 129 is on that list. 122 and 121 both are fantastic, and I have fantastic issues. I've got both of those, but I'm looking to upgrade. That is part of that wish list. But what are some other issues I want? So I was thinking, this isn't a big key, but it is one of my favorite Craven covers, and I'm super excited about this. Let me take it out of here and be real careful, because they had this listed as a VF Plus. And as you can see, I'm going to go closer right there. You see the price up there underneath the Spidey indicia? It's got 10... Actually, what is that? 10D? Is that 10 pence? I don't know. But it's still a legitimate issue, and it is fantastic. Wow. Wow. I find that Heritage Auctions grading is really spot on, if not slightly conservative. In a lot of cases, I've been able to take a book that I've bought at a really good price. Surprisingly, you can find rolls on Heritage that I think are undervalued, but at shows, the dealers are trying to get a lot more money for that. Like I said, the graded prices. But at Heritage, sometimes you can pick up stuff for great prices. Man, this is spectacular. Let me see if I can put this here. Just be real careful. I don't want to damage it at all. But I've had good luck with some rolls, Silver Age rolls that I've pressed and graded, and the grade that Heritage Auctions put on there was what it was. But if you correspond that to the CGC, the 9.0 grading scale, the 9.8, whatever, I came out ahead because I was able to press it up and clean it up to a better grade. So yeah, this is fantastic. What a fantastic copy. I'm going to really set my expectations high when I get this into CGC at this point. Man, this is a spanking issue. But goal achieved. I love this cover. Just a fantastic, here, take another look. Just a fantastic Craven cover. It is actually, for the longest time, it still is. It's one of my two favorite Craven covers. The other one is issue 3. There's 3. 293 and 294 of Spider-Man. You know, guys, Craven's Last Hunt is one of my goals for this year, is to try to get those issues at 9.8s. Well, I've got 293 as a 9.8. I'm looking for 294 as a 9.8 candidate, but those are my 3 favorite Craven covers. That one right here, 47, and then the other 2. So, goal achieved, but it's just not the American edition. So, I think I'm going to be pretty satisfied with this. This is a fantastic copy. All right, the other one was one that's not on my list, but it's a book that it's one of the few books, early Thor, that I really enjoyed. And I read these books when I was a kid, when they reprinted them in Marvel Spectacular. And that's my introduction. I mean, I saw Thor in the Avengers books I was reading, and I was picking up the regular Thor issues too, but to read the old Thor issues, early 70s, 73, 74, I was reading Marvel Spectacular. And it picked up by reprinting the original issues of Thor. Now, Thor started, I believe it was... Is it issue 126 or 127 when it switched over from Journey into Mystery into Thor? And the first big storyline they did was a crossover with Hercules, where Hercules makes a deal with Pluto unsuspectingly to become the new ruler of Hades. And the only way out of it is to have someone battle on Hercules' behalf. And Thor does just that. While Hercules' brother Ares told him to go pound sand. nobody else would pick up and take that responsibility. It's a huge, huge deal, but Thor did it. And I picked up issue number 130. You actually see Thor going down into the netherworld, and it's an 8.5. And for me, an 8.5 in these Silver Age issues like this are just, I think that's a sweet spot grade. If you guys, all these years of collecting, if you went out and you found this as in a comic book shop, and you saw this grade, this is a VF plus, man, I jump on this every day. This is a fantastic copy. So I don't want to get hung up on this not being a 9.92, 9.4. I'm not going to get hung up on that. I'm going to hang my hat on an 8.5 on these, and I'm going to tell you, way under market value for this. I'm not getting into prices or anything, but just know that what I paid for this, even with the shipping fees and buyer's premiums that you get on Heritage Auctions, I think this was a great pickup. I mean, it's not necessarily a huge key in the terms of Thor, these issues around Thor, but it's a book that I like. And the fact that I've never actually owned the original of this, just the Marvel Spectacular issue, makes me real happy. So super happy with this, but especially happy with this right there. You see, I actually turned it around in the Mylar there. But man, great issues, great Silver Age issues. Can't be happier. Sorry for the fact that I thought this was Comic Link, but now I'm excited because now I've got a Comic Link order coming in at some point, hopefully in the next few days too. Well, we'll do another video on that when that comes in. But for right now, let me know what you think of these books. Do you have these in your collection at all? Or have you read these? These are great books. I love them. Let me know what you think. All right, so the very last one here I've got is from Whatnot, and I've got a couple orders out at Whatnot right now from some different sellers. I had taken another hiatus from that because I find that I tend to jump in and have a lot of FOMO and have a winning complex sometimes. You just want to win auctions all the time. So I find it healthy to get off of Whatnot every now and then. But one day I peeked back in, and of course I jump back in, and a lot of times the seller will do a free giveaway on their channel to entice you to stay on that channel. And a lot of times I'll pop around to different sellers, and all of a sudden they'll be doing one of those. So I'll stick around and submit my name, but you got to be in the room when the sale, rather the giveaway is ran. So I ended up being in this one particular room, and I had just literally jumped in about 30 seconds before he ran the selection of who was going to win that particular item, and lo and behold, I ended up winning an item. So I ended up sticking around, and I ended up picking up another book as well, because I feel really bad just jumping into a channel and getting a freebie like that. I've won several of these things over the last year from different sellers. But it's not that I felt obligated, but I did stick around, and they did have another book in there, and I think that's what this is right here. So let's just jump into it. And if I've got this one right, well, regardless, I'm going to have two other mailings probably over this next week where I've got some other things coming in. One of them has got a bunch of books, and they were a bunch of minor keys. I don't even remember what they are at this point, but we'll do another video on that as well. Looks like he literally did a full trash bag here as a protector, which I appreciate. It definitely wasn't going to get wet with this giant bag here. But we got a nice Gemini mailer here, unsullied, as they would say on Game of Thrones. Use that later on for another mailing. I love holding on to all this stuff. You should never throw away these Gemini mailers because, hey, if you end up selling it all or submitting to CGC, hey, you never know when they come in handy. But well packaged. And let's see, we got a little bit of painter's tape there in the middle. Let's see if they tape down the books to the box. I hate that. Oh yeah, so this is definitely one of those where I won a book and then I won a giveaway. But the thing I hate more than anything is, here we've got, check this out. So it's protected in here, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of tape stuck to this Gemini mailer, and my first instinct is to go in there and literally pull this, and what you're going to do is you're going to end up damaging the books. So I like to tape my books down inside the Gemini mailer, but I will only use maybe a couple pieces of tape where it's tabbed over and it's easy to pull across, and it's very obvious that you need to pull these to get your books out. This, I wasn't really sure. It could have just been taped together with protective boards on the top and bottom and not attached to the box. But, okay, so we've got it out of the box. We've got it unprotected. And I'll show you what I picked up. And I picked this up at a really good price, and I'm telling you, I'm looking at the condition of this, and this looks really good. It's a book I've had before. It's Avengers number 257. This is the first appearance of Nebula. In the comic books, she is the granddaughter of Thanos, not the daughter of Thanos. And this is her first appearance. This was part of the second John Buscema, Tom Palmer run. And just absolutely gorgeous artwork throughout this whole series, just like it was in the early 70s. And man, I couldn't have loved comics more back then. The Avengers were my favorite book, and then you've got my favorite artist team on this. I believe Roger Stern was actually writing these. These are great books, just absolutely great books. And I've had this book in my PC. I had several copies of this, but none of them met that 9.8. I ended up getting, I think, a 9.4 and a couple of 9.6s. And at the time, I probably ended up selling both of those 9.6s. I don't know if I have any of them left at this point. But a lot of people, this is a much more valuable book here over the last few years because of Nebula being included in the James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But this is her first appearance, and I find that you can pick these books up now raw for a lot less than you could here a year ago or even 2 years ago. So I took a chance on this, and book looks really, really nice. That spine, that black line where it stops the art right there, all looks fantastic. The corners look really good. We'll have to get it out of the bag and board to find out if the back is okay. But yeah, that's going to be a real good copy. It'd be nice to try to get a 9.8 to add that to your PC. And then the freebie was this right here. It is Star Wars number 7 Empire. And I don't know anything about this. I don't know. I guess that's Boba Fett, right? Yeah, I believe it's Boba Fett. I don't know. I mean, I like Star Wars. I grew up with Star Wars, the original Star Wars, but I never got so vested in it that I cared enough to buy many of the comics later in the years when it went to Dark Horse and then back to Marvel. I don't have a lot of that. I enjoy it. I watch it as I can on TV. I enjoy the movies. The movie comes out, I'm right there in front of the line like everybody else. But I'm not, this is not necessarily my thing. I've got friends that will be able to spout out every name of every character and know what they are, but I can do that with the Avengers, but I can't do that with Star Wars. But it's a nice freebie. I'll have to look it up and see if there's any value to that. I may, on this channel, start doing a giveaway every now and then. That's something I haven't done yet, but there are some definitely books like this that I may just pass it forward. I got this for free. I may pass it around down the line. We'll see. I don't know. You guys let me know. Is this a book that's worth anything? Let me know down in the comments section when you get a chance. And so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed these books. I definitely enjoyed these books because I at least got another one in my personal 2023 wish list. And even though it's not the American copy right here, I couldn't be happier with it. So definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below. And if you guys are ever interested in any of the books that I show off on the channel, definitely reach out to me at collectorauctions@yahoo.com or DM me on my Instagram account. Both of those links are going to be down in the description below, as is my links to my eBay store and my page on Shortbox, where I list just about, well, I shouldn't say all of my slabs. All the slabs that I'm selling are listed on both platforms, so if you guys get a chance, check those out as well. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody coming in, watching, and spending some time with me and sharing my journey. And couldn't appreciate it more. The channel keeps growing, and I can't wait to meet you guys at the next Comic-Con that I might go to. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 more local shows in the Baltimore area, and then I will be down at Heroes Con in Charlotte in June. So I hope to see you guys there as well. But until then, I'm out of here, and just remember, every comic has a story.